right, 19 of the 23 Democratic candidates hit the trail in Iowa over the weekend as a new poll shows that no-show Joe Biden may be losing his grip on the lead.
We can't take 4 more years of Donald Trump.
I'm not spending my time with high-dollar donors. I'm spending my time with you.
And welcome to my fellow candidates, whom I consider we are all a part of being the Avengers. The Republicans in 2016, that was the Hunger Games.
As was this weekend, I should say, the chaotic stage, the wild stage that we saw, an indication of what to expect in the upcoming debates with all of these candidates. Here now to debate that, New York City Councilman, Republican Joe Borelli, and former DNC Deputy Press Secretary Jose Aristimuno. Guys, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Coming on early this morning. Jose, we'll start with you. Joe Biden's plan here almost seems to be to separate himself from this large pack. Do you think he's making a good move here?
Look, I think that's who Joe Biden has been from the very beginning. There's no question that the stage is going to be crowded, and he's going to be one of the few ones that says, you know what, I'm going to take the middle road. I have a high belief that a majority of a big portion of Americans are more moderate than the media would like to tell us. I think that's the audience that the vice president is trying to talk to. It's still very, very early before we get started in Iowa, but I think he's doing the right thing. I think he's adding a different sort of mix to this very highly contended, diverse field already.
Well, Iowa's the first caucus, so it gets a lot of attention. Let's take a look at a poll here that shows some of the numbers, guys. You see Joe Biden is at 24% in this poll. Bernie Sanders at 16. Look at Elizabeth Warren really shooting up with all of her policy plans. She's the most serious of the candidates as far as policy goes, it would appear. And then Buttigieg doing pretty good as well. But Biden's lead is interesting. What do you make of it?
I'm still laughing at the Eric Swalwell Avengers joke from before. Look, Joe Biden came out pretty strong in the gate because he has the highest name recognition. But I think you're going to see his poll numbers continue to drop as he's forced to explain and apologize for so many of the votes that he's had to make over the years. Not that he's had to make, the ones that he chose, the votes that were essentially mainstream Democratic positions. You're going to see his numbers drop off, and you're going to see from the rest of the field, a fluctuation of rising and falling of candidates. I think the real test, as always, will be who will have the most money to compete right after Iowa and New Hampshire, and that will have to wait a long time for. This weekend, though, we are going to see the continuation of the race to be far left.
Yeah. And Jose, talking about that for a second, there was a great op-ed in the Washington Post, and it was titled, "Dems are Peddling Fairy Tales." And it started off with the quote from JFK, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." Most of the candidates right now are just offering up anything they can, pandering to try and get votes. Biden is trying to separate himself from this type of talk, and I think that's why he's not showing up, because I think a moderate gets booed in these type of forums.
Look, this is what politicians do for a living. President Trump did it when he was a candidate. He said he was going to build the wall. He said he was going to fix our immigration system, and he hasn't been able to do none of those things. He was going to fix our health care system.
Well, he had some progress just in the last few days.
Look, I think, well, somewhat, but again, the wall's still no built. So his biggest campaign promise still no made. But look, going back to your question here, I think part of it is this is what politicians do. I think a majority of Americans are tired of this divisiveness. They're tired of the bickering. They're looking for a candidate. They're looking for a president who's going to stand up for them and going to represent the United States of America the right way.
Yeah. Okay. And we're going to go, Joe, the final thought here. Joe Biden. What do you make of this? Is he just skipping the primary stage and assuming that he's going to be the guy?
Right, and he's made a major miscalculation. He's not made himself more competitive in the primary. Yeah. If you're a single-issue pro-choice voter, he's still not your candidate. If you're the type of candidate who listens to Alyssa Milano, he's still not your candidate. So this was a major blunder for him.
Yeah, he's trying to figure it out. This is interesting, the way this is all maybe turning against him. We'll see how it develops. Gentlemen, thanks so much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.